Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. What is my hair doing? I don't know. But yeah, welcome back to the channel, and got an atypical video today. Well, not atypical, but atypical frequency of video today. We got another book haul, big one at that. Ugh, and there they go. And I say atypical frequency because I don't think it's normal to be buying this many books. I know I posted a book haul last week. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. That was in celebration of Independent Bookstore Day, where I went to some independent bookstores around me and supported them in that regard. And yeah, these are, I guess, trickle over from there. Some I ordered online and took about a week to get here. Some were spur of the moment purchases, so we'll just go ahead and get into it. But keep that in mind, this is an atypical amount of books to be buying. Last thing I need clearly is more books on my shelves. So yeah, just a quick, I guess, disclaimer there. And let's get into it. I guess I already spoiled the biggest one and the one I'm most excited for and the one I've already started reading. That is the box set of the Throne of Glass series. I've already read the first two books, Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight. All the people say to read The Assassin's Blade Third as the prequel, so that's what I'm doing. I'm currently one chapter into Assassin's Blade. And this series is very entertaining. I'll say that it's very good. The tone shift between books 1 and 2 felt sent me into orbit, and I'm loving it. It's like popcorn for my mind, and it's just every page, every chapter has something going on, and it's very good. I needed that because I'm still currently chugging through Crime and Punishment, making good progress. I'm 400 pages in out of 580, so the end is in sight. But these books are flying by. Well, I got them on Saturday. Today is currently Thursday, and I've read the first two books in that time. Super excited to have these. I know this series is super popular, and I guess for good reason as well. My sister is currently reading this series, and she wanted me to join alongside her. She's on the fourth book here, Heir of Fire, and so I'm quickly catching up to her. I think this will just be a good way to have someone else to talk to in real life about the same books we're reading. No one in my family seems to be wanting to read Crime and Punishment all too fast, so don't know what that's about. But yeah, this is definitely a good pickup. I see what the hype is about. As a 24-year-old man, I am all for it, all for this love triangle, all for this high fantasy. It's getting more, the tone shift between, like I said, between the first and second books. First book is definitely more of a like romantasy book, sort of, not like, by all means it's not like low stakes or whatever, but you can definitely see where the plot's going. It's very sort of laid out. There are twists and turns here and there, yeah. But the second book is where it really kicks off, picks up a head of steam, and really doesn't slow down, I've heard, throughout the entire rest of the series. Not that I've been needing a fantasy series to read. I have multiple completed series on my shelves that I haven't started, but I figured I needed to read this regardless. And I wanted something a bit lighter on the brain here. I've been, my recent reads that I have been reading, Moby Dick, A Clockwork Orange, Crime and Punishment, and then if you saw my weekly reading recap and my TBR for about the next 5 weeks being Portrait of an Artist as a Young Man and The Odyssey, and then obviously Ulysses in due time as well. It's nice to sort of go back and forth between a more intellectually stimulating book, not intellectually, more, I say that because the books were written 200 years ago, so the language they use, I have to really slow down, whereas this Throne of Glass series is written in like modern conversations, modern nomenclatures, and so you can just like fly through it because it's like someone's talking to you. And fly through it, I got this on Saturday, and I've read the first two books already, and it is very, very good. Excited to dig more into the third book, only a chapter in by now. But yeah, that was the first haul. Super excited to have these. I'll probably make a video once I finish the series. And yeah, I'm definitely under the Throne of Glass spell. I haven't read any of her other, actually I tell a lie. I read A Court of Thorns and Roses way back when, and it was not for me. I'm not a huge romance reader. I would think. I didn't think I was, but I tried A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I guess it confirmed that for me, that wasn't really for me. Here, it is a bit more subdued and more like high fantasy. I think like Brandon Sanderson in that regard. There's still a bit more focus on the romance, but it's not overdone in my opinion, and it's very good. And I'm liking it. Definitely don't be turned off. It's thinking it's like chick lit or whatever they call it, like books for girls. I don't know why that's even really a thing. Read what you want to read. I wanted to read this and I'm reading it, and it's very, very good. I'm having a good time. But I digress. Let's move on to the next pickup here, which is The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann. And we do a complete 180 from Throne of Glass into this postmodern epic of a book. Got inspired to pick this up by Emma over at Emmy Reads. I'm sure all you guys know who she is. She has like 500,000 subscribers or whatever. Her videos are just like pure serotonin on screen. But she read this for her Game of Tomes Big Book Club, I believe last year or earlier in the year during the winter time. And this one intrigued me because it's about this sanatorium in the Swiss Alps, and a guy goes to visit his buddy and says he's just going to stay there for 3 weeks or so, and then comes down with some illness and stays there for a much longer time. And it's like the sanatorium itself is supposed to be like a microcosm of Europe. I believe it's following World War I, so it's like a character study on the microcosm of Europe. That sounds super interesting to me. If you've watched my videos for a while now, you see this, this book that is always on this pedestal. This is probably one of my favorite books of all time. It's called Heaven Has No Favorites by Eric Remarque, written during a similar time, and it tells a similar story, as I am sure that this one does. Heaven Has No Favorites is set in a Swiss Alps sanatorium. A buddy comes to visit his friend there, ends up staying a whole lot longer than anticipated, and I loved that book. That's actually a first edition that I purchased, and it's sort of like my prized possession on that shelf there. Well, you got a lot of heaters there. You got Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's complete Sherlock Holmes collection, and then the Oxford Illustrated Jane Austen. So, but yeah, this is the only one that gets its own private shelf, own private stand, because I loved that book so much, and this book sounds definitely like that one. So excited to get into it. The reason this one would have been in my other book haul, my book mail one, but I ordered the wrong edition. The edition I got was like this size, but it was the same amount of pages. It's like 750 pages. It was this size, but 750 pages. And so there was, the margins, you like couldn't even write between the line, like you couldn't even write a single line between the lines in text. It was so tight. I'm like, I'm gonna give myself an aneurysm if I try to read this. So I ordered this edition, which is like the large print. And there you go. Sorry, you thought I was just gonna rip the book right in half. No. But yeah, there's still a lot of words on the page, but it's a book after all. What'd you expect? Excited to read into this. This may be like a, winter read because it's in a sanatorium in the Swiss Alps. But yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Moving on down another series, or I guess a start to a series here. I got the first 3 books in the Accursed King series. Starts off with The Iron King, then goes to the Strangled Queen, and then the Poisoned Crown. There's 7 books in this series. And I only got the first 3 just to see. They're short, so pretty, there's not a big like commitment to reading the first 3 books here. But yeah, hailed by George R.R. Martin as the original Game of Thrones. I think this is like a historical fiction retelling of Louis XIV during that time in Europe, which sounds fascinating. It was put on this by Ian Gubelli on BookTube as well. He's a big booktuber as well. I'm sure you guys have seen his videos. But he has slowly been making his way through this series, and I've seen his videos that, you know, whenever he picks up the next book, it's always better than the last, is what he says. I think he's read the first 3 and has loved them. So decided to give it a shot. I haven't read Game of Thrones yet, so I probably should have read that first before buying this, but I like the more historical elements that could be found in this series. I got these off Thrift Books, so yeah, super reasonable prices. And yeah, I think that will do it on this book haul, Magic Mountain, the Accursed King series, the start of it at least, and Throne of Glass. We'll get a thumbnail real quick. Yeah, let me know. Whoa, poke your eye out, kid. Let me know down below if you've read any of these books. And like I said, this is an abnormal amount of books to buy, so by no means don't follow suit. I make poor financial decisions for my 300 subscribers. And yeah, definitely excited to keep on keeping on with the Throne of Glass series. I'm just gonna pick up Assassin's Blade right after I finish recording this. And I've been flying through them, so I may finish that this weekend and be almost fully caught up to my sister. Let me know if you've read them down below. If you have, what you thought of them. I've heard the story is devastating towards the end, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. I need that series hangover that I got from the Stormlight Archives. Was left a little disappointed in the last one, but still a good story through and through. Excited to keep sinking my teeth into this series, but I digress. Again, thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you're new. Give it a like if you liked it. We'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for hanging out, guys.